See, I went in the Marines because I was hungry and I wanted to get something to eat, and it was during the Depression. Nobody today knows what a depression is, but it's bad, but nobody can find work, and people that's got money are hanging on to it, and you don't get anything. You don't even get a bite to eat. We had no welfare. We had no nothing, and so I'd get up and go to school. When I was a kid, I'd get up and go to school in the morning, and I wouldn't have but maybe a piece of bread. And you didn't have anything in school that you had to. If you had a lunch in school, you had to pay for it. My father was out of work, and there was no work. The first wave of airplanes came over, and I thought they were ours because we had usually, they had what they call maneuvers and things around the base, and they had things going on. So I wasn't sure what they were. They came in. When I saw that red ball, I did not. It was on the wings, and I never realized for a good while, maybe 10, 15 minutes, what they were, whose they were. And so they started dropping bombs everywhere, and I run off, left that caisson, and I got back off of that because the battleship was right beside me, and I wanted to get away from there because they're going to bomb that battleship. I knew that, or felt that. So I left my post, which I could have been put in jail for that, and ran over and get out of the way. And the pilots, Japanese pilots, came over so low you could see them. You could see their face when they came over. We had, they tried to they dropped bombs all in the harbor, and they had several explosions. Then they had the biggest one I had ever heard. It was when the Arizona went up. The Arizona was sitting there, and it had about 900 or 1,000 men still on the ship that were sleeping Sunday morning. And they got lucky, and they dropped a bomb right down the smokestack, and it went to the bottom, went through, they said, 5 decks below, and blew up. They said, I don't know, 37,000 rounds of 5-inch ammunition. It killed all of them on board, every one of them did. The ship came out of the water. I saw it, and when it came out of the water, you could see daylight under it, and it busted like this and went back down in the water. I remember. That was after it began to quiet down, and the airplanes sort of left. They it didn't look like they were coming back. It looked like they were leaving. They came, a truckload of Marines came over where I was, picked me up, and we went around to Pier 1010, and the Ogallala mine layer ship was there, and there were sailors, I guess they were most sailors, it was in the water swimming, trying to get up to the dock, and they were in the water, and they were pretty well cut up, bruised up, bloody, and everything else in there, and so we got them, took care of them for the next 2 to 3 hours. I didn't get anything to eat. Nobody did. No breakfast, and nobody was offering anything. We tried to pull everybody we could out of the water, and then we had a hospital up on the hill there, and so we were getting people out, and they were transporting them to the hospital as fast as they could. I've lived, it's amazing, I've lived here for 31 years. I moved here 31 years ago, and I have never been confronted with people or questions, and people wanting answers or asking me questions, or wanting to celebrate in some way, like recently I went on a big trip to Washington, D.C., and for 31 years that never happened to me, and then here I am again doing this. The Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, is coming up, and now we got 2 or 3 other different things. People now, I guess, are coming to face it of what it was, what we had, but for years they forgot. They pushed it behind them. I don't blame them. You can't live, I don't live with regret. It happened. But I'm luckier than most of them. I feel sorry for those guys that in that battleship, they were asleep. They didn't wake up, I guarantee you.